Hello, this is the Silver Watchman and welcome to a brand new series, HyperBurner. Now, before I even start the series, let me show you off with a disclaimer. Here we go. There's a lot going on the screen that can affect your health if, you have issues with your eyes, you can't handle fast movement, stuff like that. Just close your eyes and you should be just fine, because it's got some really, really snazzy jazz music. Right? Huh? My gosh, that music is amazing. I think I like jazz. So, welcome to HyperBurner, episode 1. And if I sound a bit stuffy, that's probably because I am stuffy. I forgot to take the allergy meds today, so yeah, I'm gonna be stuffy for a while, at least until they kick in. So, theme of this episode, since we got some nice peaceful jazz music, is just that: peace. Now let's just grab the handy dandy PDA and look up peace. Good gosh, I'm stuffy. So let's see. Peace. Wow, it is mentioned even as early as Genesis. Now, if any of you have any idea what the Bible series is, and you probably should if you're on my channel, it's only I would have to say roughly either the longest or maybe second longest series I have on my channel. Oh my gosh, there's so many things. There's a lot in the Old Testament. In fact, I'm still on the Old Testament. As for all the verses that I have that have been brought up, oh my gosh. Man, this music is awesome. So, peace. What is peace? Let's define it by what the world thinks peace is. And then we're going to contrast that with what God says peace is. Peace, noun, freedom from disturbance, tranquility. 2. A state or period in which there is no war or war has ended. Keep in mind, the age of peace will be exactly like that. It'll last for about 1,000 years, and then it is also used as a friendly greeting, or is in order to remain silent, which we do see that particular type of use of peace. But overall, peace means, it also is used as a way of saying you're gonna bail out of the situation, or you're gonna jet. So yeah. All right, so I think we're gonna kick it off as in the Bible. It's a lot of mentioning of peace offerings in the Old Testament. So we're gonna go. Oh my gosh! Yeah, every single mentioning of peace is in the Old Testament, from what I can see. is... No, not all of them. The further down you go... No, wait, no, it's back to peace offerings. Okay, then. Let us... My gosh. I do not have the time to read all these verses. So we're just going to go into the New Testament, which is... Oh my gosh, there's 296 in the Old Testament. Only about 108 in the New Testament. We're going to teach you this version out of the New Testament. This spectacular crash, as usual. Let's see. We're going to start with Mark chapter 4, verse 39 in King James Version of the Bible. And he arose and rebuked the wind and said unto the sea, Peace, be still. And the wind ceased, and there was great calm. Now, a little bit of backstory to Mark chapter 4 is a couple verses prior, they decide to go on a boat to get to their destination. That's on the other side of a lake, or yeah, I'm pretty sure it's on the other side of a lake or a large body of water. I didn't really see too much of a specification as to what body of water that was, so all we know that it's a large enough body of water that a storm is able to affect them, and that they need a boat. So Jesus and the apostles. Now, the difference between a disciple and an apostle is that you can only be called an apostle if you've actually seen God himself and walked with him during the age of the law. Meaning that there are no more spots to be an apostle, but there's a infinite amount of spots to be a disciple. But we're going to go over that in a different episode. So in Mark 4:39, previously they get onto a boat, and Jesus goes into the lower area of the boat, which means it's not one of those rowboats. I'm guessing it's one of those transport vessels that you normally see, like a ferry boat. But they didn't have ferry boats back then, because those didn't get invented until right around, I want to say mid-1800s, but it may have been made before that. Because my, I'm really good at history, I'm really bad with numbers, so I do remember that area because it was definitely like colonial times. They were building around. It was around the time when they made the Panama Canal, and they were trying to build railroads because they discovered steam technology. And I'm getting sidetracked. So Jesus, God, goes down to the bottom of the ship, and he just, falls asleep. And while he is sleeping, the storm decides to kick up, and absolutely just starts thrashing the boat around. It's so much so that the apostles become so frightened that they wake up Jesus and are basically like, yo, don't you care? We're gonna die. Look at this storm. So Jesus I would like to say that he probably got a tad bit annoyed, because right after he brings peace to the wind, to the storm. He says to them, "Why are ye so fearful? How is it that ye have no faith?" And they feared exceedingly, and said one to another, "What manner of man is this, that even the wind and sea obey him?" I can tell you what manner of man that is. That is God, incarnate in the flesh. But we see here in Mark, I have lost the verse. No, here it is. Mark 4:39. We see in this little chapter of 4, if my math is right, 3 different types of peace. We see the calm before the storm. That's the time of peace before anything crazy really starts happening. We see the calm during the storm. That's why God was asleep at the bottom of the bridge, at the brig. I said that. He's asleep at the bottom of the boat. A hinder part of the ship, asleep on a pillow. So the storm is hitting the ship hard enough that it is filling up with water fast. But we see the third type of peace, which is the calm after the storm, meaning the acknowledgement of one's actions after something happened. Now, I've run out of time for this episode of the Bible. But what is peace? I'll leave that for you to answer because I've run out of time. But we have this treasure in earthen vessels, that the excellency of the power may be of God and not of us. We are troubled on every side, yet not distressed. We are perplexed, but not in despair. Persecuted, but not forsaken. Cast down, but not destroyed. 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verses 7 through 9. King James Version of the Bible. I think that verse may be the perfect representation of walking with God. That may be the best verse. I could spend my entire life trying to explain it, and that verse could still do it better than me. That is absolutely amazing. Wait on the Lord, be of good courage, and he shall strengthen thine heart. Wait, I say, on the Lord. Psalms chapter 24, verse number 14, King James Version of the Bible. Now, I thank you all for watching. Glory be to God, and blessings be upon each and every single one of you. It is truly an honor that I get to do this. It is truly an honor indeed. Thank you all for watching. And this is the Silver Watchman, signing out.